Welcome to Norse Code, episode 45. This week we'll be choking on our very first sentence. That's what we will be doing today.
Hooray!
Okay, let's try that again. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Norse Code, the number one podcast for your Minnesota Vikings. I am your host and producer. My name is James Pogatshnik. Arif and Dusty are both off this week, both traveling, and we wanted to give you something special for the holidays. Also, happy holidays. We hope your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Feast of Alvis, Festivus was everything you hoped it could be and more. Now, with the holidays, we're going to be giving a clip show like we did last year. Some of these are very, very football-oriented. Some are definitely not oriented near football. And a lot of them do contain swearing. So if swearing is something that offends you, we're sorry. But this contains a lot of it. A lot of these are after the show comments as well. So in addition to mid-show screw-ups, we have some rants from Arif and Dusty, including my favorite rant of theirs, involving the infamous Reggie Bush, Vince Young reality show that they want to pitch. Apologies for the quality in some of these. We did go through, as listeners would know, we went through a period of time where we were able to call in to do the show. We have since stopped doing that. And you'll understand why when you hear the Vince Young clip. So sit back, relax, and we've got some cool stuff in here. We first want to start off with how we should start the show, including a couple of things that we did end up having to fix and post.
Sign up today with the referral code NOS. Sign. I'm too fast for my own good today.
Woof.
Sign up today with the referral code NOS, and you can. So then, let us begin the week five.
Well, that's a positive.
Man, I like this mailbag. Good one.
Yeah, we got some good questions this week. Did you get the email question that I pasted
Oh, fuck, no.
I pasted
Toss
into
it
the
in.
chat.
It's not that big a deal, James. Come on. Oh,
You're down,
shit.
big shifter.
Yeah, let's have to commit ritual suicide.
God. Oh, Jesus, no. Oh, hamburgers.
I'm only saying that because I read the damn thing 3 times and thought, this needs to go into the notes. This needs to go in the notes. And then clearly it did not go into the notes.
That's what you get for thinking.
Yeah. I'll try to be more like Dusty next time.
Oh,
That's not really what I meant.
That's
not, deny ourselves.
Are you threatening us? Is that
duality?
The more Dusty in the world, the merrier. No.
That's not really-
also not true?
I don't.
That's
Even
definitely
I
not
don't
true.
subscribe to that. Like,
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Dusty thought that fewer Dustys in the world were a good thing.
one is the exact right number.
So the world should just have a sign on it saying no Dusties, but we're allowed to have one.
It says no homers.
No, see, we're allowed to have one. Yeah.
Yes.
We're saved by the power of the apostrophe.
Teddy Bridgewater also had a phenomenal game. Throwing forward
Freaking
2
stellar
touchdowns
game. Yeah.
and carrying us to victory the very end of regulation I can't even internet. This is insane. I just wanted out there that I fucking hate how every football story everywhere has some fucking ad that plays sound and they don't all play it right away. So I can't
I just have
hold stuff up.
Flashbook. That's
what I should be
Flash
doing.
applications until I click on them. Yeah. I hate autoplay with a passion.
Oh my God, it's the worst. And Football pages are some of the worst offenders. Like, I don't even go to Vikings.com because they're going to blast me with some terrible ad.
Another... That silence is once again brought to you by Dusty O'Connell.
Oh, it's good gum. I didn't want it to go to waste.
So now it's in your gullet.
It sure is. Nourishing me in the way that only gum can.
Hey, remember the Adrian Peterson suspension this season? Yeah, we do too. And I promise this is the only thing on the show that's about it. This is one of the best bits we did on it this whole year, and I don't know if you'll find another podcast that spends this much time and goes into this much in-depth analysis regarding a traffic ticket Adrian Peterson got a few years ago while traveling over 100 miles an hour down Highway 62. Like, I feel like I'm like the Adrian Peterson situation is very much like we just discovered that like a longtime boyfriend or husband or something, wife has been cheating on you, and we found out with the child abuse thing, and we're like, you need to live somewhere else for a little while, and this was just like you found out they did something incredibly stupid again, and you're just like, good for, God damn it. You know, I wasn't totally sold on you being, like, completely out of the picture, but you're kind of giving me no choice.
Yeah. I think that's a good teak.
It's not a hot take. It's not hot enough.
Right.
I need to spice it up with a couple of extra words, which is why I'm starting it off by declaring this is our drug-fueled mega orgy, Ebola towel-flavored, Teddy Bridgewater-powered podcast. Get the extra clicks in here. People will stick around if we think a mega orgy is happening.
Yeah, even if they can only listen to it, right?
Well, yeah. He didn't smoke a lot of pot. He just smoked a little pot.
A little bit of weed.
Just a little bit. You know, the thing about this whole analyzation of Peterson's life, it just makes the going 105 or 109 on Highway 62 just more impressive. Like, I had tweeted it, and I'm going to mention it in the show, but when that happened, I remember I was living in Bloomington at the time, and I was having to take 62 quite a bit. And 62 was an absolute, like, it was a war crime. Like, it was terrible. There were, like, parts of it at the time that this was going on. There were parts that were nearly gravel.
Yeah.
Like, it was just terrible. And to think that somebody was going 109 on that.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised that he found room to go 109 for any sustained period of time.
That's the other thing. Like, 62 is bumper to bumper a hell of a lot more than it should be.
Yeah.
Even out by even when you get past the airport and start heading toward Eden Prairie and everything, it's still not exactly it's not like 94 from Fergus to Fargo or something. Like, I feel like, again, I might have tweeted this, but I feel like a curve is on here. Like, a degree of difficulty was involved. And he somehow got to plead down to 99 miles an hour so they didn't take his license away.
That is incredible.
You're like, well, we're not going to do this for anybody else, but you're the star running back on our shitty Vikings team, so we need you. And we need you to make it to practice, apparently. I've never quite seen a reaction from announcers like the game that happened right after McNabb signed his big extension in Washington. Do you remember that? Do you remember the game? Like, he signed the extension, and then the next game is like a Monday night, and they spent the entire game going, yeah, he signed an extension, he signed a new contract, he's not going to be in Washington next year. Like, the whole game, they're just like, oh, good for him for getting a little bit additional money for this year, but he's not going to be in Washington. He's going to get traded. Like, they were just so damn certain that he was not going to be in Washington. It's like, he just signed a thing. Yeah, but don't trust anybody here. He's not going to make it. Don't trust Dan Snyder. Just because he gave him extra money doesn't mean he's not going to trade him in the offseason.
Dan Snyder does not give a single fuck about how much something will cost him.
No. I am disappointed that he no longer feels the need to win the preseason. He no longer feels
there was
the need
like a reliable Redskins thing that you could do every year. You could count on them winning the preseason.
Yeah, you could just count on them signing the biggest free agent to way too much money to be hit with the tax and watch them fall apart by week 2. Like, wow, you guys got Albert Hainsworth. That's amazing. Wow, your team is terrible.
I think Hainsworth was
Hainsworth
peak,
aside,
was peak Redskins. It was like that was like the single most Redskins moment of that organization.
Hainsworth coming in and being like, "Hey, I did work in Tennessee. You gotta relax now. You guys,
I understand.
You guys don't even run the right scheme for me."
Yeah, like I kind of actually like get it. I mean, he was a dick about it, right? Like he reacted too much. Like there's a reasonable amount of piss you can be before like $100 million sort of like soothes your jimmies, right? But like I get why he was pissed about the scheme change because he's not a 3-4 guy, and when they switched to 3-4. I mean, he was just like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I rush the passer from the inside. I'm a one-gap guy. I can destroy guards one-on-one. I can't just not do so. You're literally asking me to just not do stuff now. Fuck you. And he didn't show up to training camp and still a cop like $60 million that year for not showing up to training camp. And he's like, yeah, I'll take a $30,000 fine. Great.
Does my paycheck look like I give a fuck? Unrestricted free agent. He signed a 7-year, $100 million contract with Washington. The deal paid out $32 million in the first 13 months, included a $41 million guaranteed, and could have reached $115 if he wasn't such a piece of shit.
Is that what it says on the Wikipedia page?
Oh, man. Oh, lame. All right, well, regrettably, none of any of that was recorded.
Oh, what? So, really?
Yeah, I know. I was wearing wet jeans for like 4 hours. Get off me.
That's phrasing. I am doing. How are you?
You need to do that again because that was no words. There was not a single word that I could decipher out of that. Welcome back.
That had nothing to do with my computer. I tried to mute and I just hung up.
That's the mute is the microphone, not the phone.
Oh, thanks, Dusty. I didn't know that before or after this incident.
Well, you're the one that hung up on me. I'm just saying.
It was just like a misclick, okay? It wasn't like, this red phone must clearly be mute because I want to red my phone. Obviously.
I will start over with the FanDuel ad in 3, 2.
All right, I'm good. Stop laughing.
That's what I do.
Let's see how good it is to have a person like him. All right.
Yes.
I'm useful. Now, this next clip is actually something we cut out of an episode. We did this because we couldn't think of a non-clunky way to explain Roger Goodell and Peter King's relationship as it related to whether or not the bombing of Hiroshima happened. Here's what I mean.
I think Hiroshima didn't happen.
Well, no, like if Roger Goodell told him that it didn't happen, then you could just see, a Monday Morning Quarterback article where Peter King was like, I've never actually been to Hiroshima, and it's not really on any maps. And then Roger Goodell shoots him out of a cannon.
Now, about 2 years ago, when Dusty and I were wrapping up a different podcast, we were thinking of ideas as to what we could be doing. And one of the ideas was to do a parenting podcast because I was about to become a father. As I'm the only one of the three of us that has a kid, I get to relate the little things that we're doing now that are odd or peculiar. And I got to talk about one of my son's favorite things to do this year, which was play fetch, which managed to both confuse and excite Arif to no end.
Oh, well, all right then. You go ahead and be a responsible father to your children. I'm going to continue being a childless single male and stay up late and then go eat ice cream and bacon for breakfast.
I'm going to throw things at kids.
See, my kid's at the age...
Throw kids at things.
There you go. My kid's at the age where if I throw something, he comes and he grabs it and brings it back. It is sort of like having a dog who's learning how to talk.
Kid is a dog?
No, there's a certain age at which kids play, almost like play fetch.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
No, it totally happens. And that's the age that he's at right now. He's 18 months, and all he wants to really do is bring me the ball, I kick it or move it somewhere, and he just brings it back and laughs. That's all he wants to do. I want to be that happy.
Wow.
Maybe you should try fetching some stuff.
I feel like I'm doing life wrong. I feel like I should be fetching more things.
So you're saying I should adopt a 17-month-old, then give him up for adoption 2 months later?
Well, see, there's a window here. It's usually between 13 months, 14 months, and right before they turn 2. So there's a good time during the 1-year-old thing. So there's like 10 or 11 months in there when the fetching thing happens. The bad thing is if you're out in public, they will run you like ragged and you'll want to die by the end of your day. So
whatever, I'm going to try and make fetch happen.
Yeah, fetch is totally something you want to do. Telling you, when you experience this yourself, fetching is equal parts funny or equal parts hilarious and just confusing. He's like, how can this be fun for you? Oh, you're back and smiling. Oh, and you learned the word ball. Awesome. Now go get the ball. I know that most of that's going to be edited, and I don't care. It's just fucking...
Norse Code, your Vikings podcast.
Talking about bitcoins and kids that are fetching,
and LeBron James, of course,
and LeBron James. This will all end up on the Christmas special, right? Right.
It's going somewhere. I'll tell you that.
And sometimes the problems on the show aren't technical at all. One of the things we run into is the fact that we've all known each other for a really long time. The shortest amount of time that one of us has known each other is at least 17 years. So, because we know each other and because we know each other's brothers and all that, things can get awkward.
Our shot. 3, 2.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Sorry. But no, you're doing such a cool thing and you're raising funds to do it. It's a trade I accustom.
Cool. It must be your shot.
But if you're raising other people's money in order for you to be able to afford to do it, it must be our shot.
I had that job too, man. What?
Yeah, you did. So it's even easier to conflate the two of you than you think.
Oh my god. All right, whatever, man.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I know that was terrible.
And now it's time for some wildly inaccurate prognostications. First thing we have is a training camp story from Arif about Joe Webb and including a conversation that he had where he may have asked the wrong question at the wrong time.
You're saying that because of the name McGee.
I'm well aware of why I'm doing it, yes. So, do you have a wildly irresponsible prognostication this week?
Yeah, well, I have a wildly irresponsible prognostication, but it is not for this week. It is just of this week, and it is that Joe Webb will score a touchdown in some fashion this season. But he just looks at me like, I can't believe you asked this question. What a stupid question. You're clearly not a reporter.
You got me. Sorry.
So he looks at me and he's like, "You definitely just asked this question in front of a camera." Because there was a Care 11 camera. I grabbed Joe Webb for an interview, and Care 11 was like, "Oh, this kid's interviewing Joe Webb. Let's horn in on it." So I asked him, and he's like, the look in his eyes says, "You asked me this in front of a camera, you moron." And And he goes, I don't know. That's up to the coaches. We'll see. And the way he said it, I was just like, oh my God, they're totally going to do that. You just gave it away, Joe Webb, because you're a terrible liar.
You heard it here first, folks. Joe Webb totally going to be running the Wildcat for us this year.
He's going to throw at least one pass, and if he throws it as a touchdown pass, I will collect all of the imaginary money I just threw down on this bet.
My wildly irresponsible prognostication is that Rex Ryan is still going to be a head coach next year.
Wow. Really?
I think that he is somehow going to survive the Sanchez. I don't know if Sanchez will necessarily be in the league next year, or be a starter in the league next year. But I do happen to think that Rex Ryan is going to survive the contract negotiations, and he's going to live out to coach. I'm not sure if he'll be at the Jets still. I'm sure someone will pick him up. Maybe the Raiders will pick him up in the spirit of the whole just win, baby Al Davis thing. Like, maybe he's got something.
You know what? I think that Rex Ryan is a better head coach than people give him credit for. I just think that, A, he can't be involved in personnel. He clearly was. And B, he needs someone else to make quarterback decisions for him. Everything else, and I understand that second thing is a fairly important responsibility for a head coach. But really, honestly, if he's in a situation where there's no quarterback controversy and the quarterback situation's resolved, I think he could be a great head coach.
Hey, I was actually pretty on there. I would have mentioned the clip involving Percy Harvin, but every time he gets mentioned on the show, he gets hurt, so I think he should at least get rested before we say his name one more time. I think it's time for a number of the week.
All right,
so I have a number of the week. I think it's the largest number of the week that we've ever had.
Okay.
It is 1,000. Well, assuming that people hear this on Thursday,
sure,
October 17th.
Okay.
Then the number of the week is 1,386.
1,300. That sounds like a rushing yardage number.
That is negative. It is the number of calendar days since the Vikings have put up 40 points in a game, which they last did on January 3rd, 2010, against the Giants.
So it was the 2009 season, right? Because it was January 2010.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Why did you bring that up? Every number in the world. Literally any number.
All right. At any rate, it's been almost 1,400 days since the Vikings have put up 40 points, which, is maybe not the fairest number because they don't go out there and play every day, thank God.
Well, so, obviously that problem has to do with the quarterback. There's not a ton of discussion to be had about this number. It's the Vikings quarterbacks have sucked since then. That's true.
I would also think that, this is a week where they could score 40 again.
It's true.
They're going up against the defense that could give up 40. They're giving up 30-something a game right now. So
that was my subtle suggestion. The last team to be on the receiving end of a 40-point beatdown from the Vikings was the Giants. So
so what? They get a couple of picks, good field position. Maybe one of those picks is returned for an interception or for a touchdown. Yeah, I could see it.
Also, I love the idea of Blake Bortles trying to talk to the headset.
That is so great. Imagine, if other teammates were there and trying to figure out, what he's doing.
Or who the fuck he's trying to talk to. And now, as promised, the Vince Young, Reggie Bush, Heisman conversation featuring Dusty and Arif on a phone that sounds a little rough. This does go on for a while, but I promise it's worth sticking around for the ending.
Actually, I feel like if anyone got that message, it was Reggie Bush.
Okay, so if you look up the 2005 Heisman winner, obviously it'll be vacant. But it's always gonna, right next to it'll be Reggie Bush won this award, but then he had to give it away. So Reggie Bush still won the award. No.
Yeah, he won it. He just doesn't have it.
Yeah, no one's gonna be 100 years from now. No one's gonna be yeah, I wonder who. There's a blank spot for the 2005 Heisman. I don't know who that is.
Well, the people that are going to miss it most, and this is why it's just such a annoying and, spiteful and mean, like, teenage girl thing for the NCAA to do. The people that are going to miss it the most are going to be his, like, kids and grandkids and stuff when they just don't have that trophy.
Yeah,
like,
you can't. Yeah. If that happens, like, in that situation, what I would do is I would just ask a trophy maker to just make it. Right, like if I'm Reggie Bush, I reserve enough money aside for a trophy maker.
Why don't you pick up an Oscar while you're at it?
Well, I mean, but you won the Heisman. It's not the same.
Why? This would be... I'm actually going to write this down. I think we should dedicate some time to the metaphysical like implications of winning an award and then having it taken away and then just making another one for yourself.
Well,
is it still authentic? Like, does it still possess the awardness of it?
It's somewhat similar to the ship riddle, right? For like the Greeks, when you had this like legendary ship, but it fell into disrepair, so they they kept on replacing parts.
Oh yeah, how many pieces of the ship can you take away before it becomes a different ship?
Yeah, and obviously there's no answer to it, but for Reggie Bush, the answer is it's my ship. Fuck you.
The answer is one trophy. One $25 trophy.
I would invest a lot of money to make it as close to the Heisman as possible. So maybe a $50 trophy. But
right, you go to a bronze worker and you're like, how closely can you replicate the Heisman without inviting trade infringement concerns?
But okay, so 25 years from now, right? Reggie Bush has a fake trophy in his house. And
no, it's a real trophy. It's a fake award. The trophy physically exists. Like, you cannot occupy the same physical space as the trophy, but it was not awarded to you. You just went and bought it.
Well, this is another metaphysical discussion because what defines trophy, right? Some of it has to involve the award that goes. It's not a trophy if it doesn't have an award attached to it, right?
No, it's still a trophy. Yeah. You can just go and buy a trophy, but it's not an award because no, you can. You can go to, they have trophy stores. You can buy a lot of trophies if you want. I don't know if you knew this. I thought you coached debate.
Okay, actually, did you know our coach got so upset about winning the Team Halloween award that she did do the thing that we're suggesting Reggie Bush do with the Heisman? We went to a tournament, and you clearly were the best dressed team or whatever, and we didn't win the award because some fucker dressed like Zorro won it. And it was like some dude who dressed like Zorro, and then his friend in a poncho. And they were like, well, that's clearly the best team award. And we were like,
that's racist.
We look like a McDonald's Happy Meal. That's what we went at. And we're all 18 of us. Not even two dudes in a poncho. That's stupid. And so clearly we were better. But I was like, it's Halloween. I don't really care. But the coach was so upset that she went out and she bought a trophy and then entitled it the Egan Wildcat Team Halloween Costume Award 2004. And it's in the trophy case in the building at Jefferson High School. It's in the trophy case for the debate team. And you can look at it and you can think, what? I can't believe they won this. Or whatever.
Well, I can't believe they were awarded this bogative trophy.
But yeah, okay.
But see, I would say that one counts because she didn't buy it for herself. She thought you had been unfairly treated, and so she bought the trophy and then awarded it to you, at which point it became an authentic award, and the trophy conferred all the benefits of the award that she was trying to bestow upon you.
Right? Because it's in the trophy case, and people assume that the people at Egan tournament awarded the trophy, when in fact it was a massive conflict of interest, and the person awarding the trophy happened to coach the team. It is still a misrepresentation.
But at least it has it at least has an ersatz authenticity to it.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Which I can't believe I just said ersatz authenticity.
it has sort of a chintzy, realistic feel to it.
It's just got a delightful real fakeness to it.
But okay, so 25 years from now, people are touring Reggie Bush's home. Maybe he lives there, right? And or maybe a granddaughter brings a friend over, and they look at the Heisman Trophy, and then the friend goes back home and then tells his or her dad, and the dad goes, wait, wasn't he stripped of that trophy?
Didn't he give that back? And the granddaughter is like, to who?
Because, like, well, here's the thing is, I think this would make, like, a lot more sense as a problem if they simply just gave the trophy to Vince Young, right, instead of not awarding it to anybody.
But that takes away the teen girl squad aspect of it. Like, the NCAA can't be, the belle of the ball. They can't lord it over people if they don't, like...
You just take it away and like, if you can't have it according to our rules, then no one can have it according to our rules.
Exactly. How else will anyone learn a lesson?
Well, I mean,
if we don't go around making examples out of people.
How is that not a lesson? You still lost the trophy.
I guess
and
it would...
award, because there are two distinct things in your mind.
I guess it would belie the meaninglessness of it. I don't know.
All it would do was add meaning if you just gave it to Vince Young that year instead. If you were like, no, Reggie Bush doesn't win it because he was an illegal college participant. Vince Young, for some reason we are convinced, was legally a college participant.
So wait. So Vince Young gets the trophy, and it's the actual Heisman trophy, the one they gave to Reggie Bush, right? Like it's the same one, and they just crossed his name out and wrote in Sharpie, Vince Young.
They would be a little more classy than that, but yeah, functional.
But what if Vince Young then gave the trophy to Reggie Bush?
Oh, whoa. Well,
like,
so it changes like the thing, right? Because we're worried about the authenticity. Well, I'm less worried about the authenticity of the trophy because, to me, the trophy represents being recognized as the best college player in football, which he was. There's no question about that. And then the trophy is a physical manifestation of that, right?
Yeah, so if we're talking about actual authenticity of the award, then Vince Young would be, like, righting a great universal wrong.
Potentially. It still says Vince Young on it. That's weird. I think that's weirder if Vince Young gifted you the trophy because he thought you deserved it, because you did, than if you went to a trophy store and got a perfect replica, at least with your name on it.
But if you did that, but if you were Reggie Bush and Vince Young did that for you, then you would have two choices. You could either go to a trophy store and buy him a nicest second place Heisman winner in the world trophy and give it to him.
Oh my God, you are awful.
Or you could just leave his name on the Heisman as a token of your esteem for him.
Well, God. That is nuts, because all that would do is force people to ask, wait, did you steal this from Vince Young? Or this is worse because Reggie Bush clearly has a successful NFL career while Vince Young has been scrounging for money. Did Vince Young pawn it off and sell it to you? Or, this is even worse. Did Vince Young auction it off and you happen to be the highest bidder?
Vince Young hawked it.
Can you imagine if Reggie Bush was immediately notified of the fact that Vince Young in this mythical universe, now the winner of the Heisman Trophy, is in such financial trouble that he has to auction it off, and being made aware of the fact, decides to go to the auction and bid more money than anybody else to win the Heisman Award that he had previously...
So do you get to put your name on it finally if you win the Heisman in an auction?
And you don't be the word to your grandkids.
So poor Vince Young has to sell Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy with his name on it, with Vince Young's name on it. Just so I have the story straight, because this is getting complicated. So Vince Young sells Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy with Vince Young's name on it on eBay, and Reggie Bush wins it a second time. But then there's an issue with his PayPal account.
Oh no.
And so he gets the Heisman taken away again.
Oh my God.
Your backup payment method could not be confirmed and your account lacks the funds necessary. Negative feedback has been left on your eBay account.
Reggie Bush's eBay account. So do you think if he bought that Heisman Award in an auction and won it, and it was for some reason he did not get rejected or whatever, do you think that would be more authentic to display in a trophy case than the situation that exists now, where no one has the award, but he makes a perfect replica and puts in his own trophy case?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Because if we assume the word award to mean a conference of honor, that is represented by a statue or whatever, and and trophy just means the statue itself.
Yeah.
Then if anybody asks Reggie Bush a question, he can just be like, "Yeah, I won that trophy. It was totally awarded to me."
Yeah, because Reggie Bush is really into semantic games like that.
But this was never about him. As much as the NCAA would like to make it about him.
True. But
this is about setting an example.
I just feel like if the award goes to someone else, if the NCAA was like, you know what, Vince Young, here you go. Here's the physical trophy. It's got your name engraved on it. There was no eligible player that received more votes than you for the Heisman Award. Here you go. And Reggie Bush buys it or whatever and has it, right? I feel like for some reason, and I don't know why, although this is what the entire conversation is, and I don't know why feeling about things, that is less authentic than if nobody gets the award and he just makes a replica of himself to represent the fact that people recognized him as the best player in all of college football.
But then, I mean,
Okay, also, another thing that we haven't considered...
You run into the time travel problem where if you...
in the Heisman, which, by the way, you would violate if you had won it in an auction or if you, of course, produced a replica trophy for yourself.
Well, that's not a problem for Reggie Bush now, is it?
Well, but it doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the Heisman Award now, right?
He already fucked that sheep, didn't he?
Clause? Because it's for like... Well, let me look up the description of the Heisman. But it's for the college player whose performance best exhibits the pursuit of excellence with integrity.
Well, you end up with the Batman problem. If the replica trophy method is more authentic, because if for some reason Vince Young and Reggie Bush were roommates and their trophy cases were next to each other, you could potentially have the real award and the fake award in the same room together.
Oh, that would be cool, though.
Maybe not the word I would use. It would be difficult to explain.
No, because this is the greatest sitcom of the past 10 years.
Reggie Bush and Vince Young
are roommates, and Reggie Bush was so annoyed that he got the Heisman taken away from him that he built a replica Heisman. And he is a passive-aggressive dick and puts it right next to Vince Young. And in this mythical universe, they gave it to Vince Young.
Now, if the trophies were anthropomorphized, then Seth MacFarlane could sell it to Fox and make another $1 billion.
Oh.
I know, right?
Why did you do that?
I just wanted to say anthropomorphized.
But you did the thing where you combined it with a situation I don't want to see. I just want to see actual Reggie Bush and actual Vince Young, past their prime in the 30s. Well, I guess Vince Young's already past his prime. But but Vince Young has the award and Reggie Bush moves in. Like, they're really good friends, and they move in and they reminisce about the USC Texas game or whatever. And
they're like bros as long as they both don't look at the award.
Yeah, but then Reggie Bush, he doesn't come in with the award. In the second episode, he purchases the trophy and puts it next to Vince Young's Heisman, but he doesn't say a word about it. He just does it one day, and Vince Young is so baffled he doesn't know what to do about this, but he doesn't want to rock the boat.
So he lets it go for a couple of months, and then they're both just they're watching some shitty pro game on TV, and they're both hammered. And Vince Young is like, "So what's up with the trophy? What's with that, man? That's kind of weird, right?"
But I would. So this would be great. Is if I don't know if there's an inscription on the trophy for what it's awarded for. But the inscription says something like, the outstanding college football player whose performance best exhibits the pursuit of excellence with integrity. Winners epitomize great ability combined with diligence, perseverance, and hard work. If there's a copy of that on Reggie Bush's award, but he just eliminated the word integrity.
Cross it out with a Sharpie.
Well, no, because he got the award made, so it just doesn't have the words.
It's like one of those spot the differences photo hunt things.
And so they'll have like a girl over, probably just like the random girl character you see in sitcoms that has like a platonic relationship. There's like a little bit of sexual tension, but she's always dating someone else.
And Vince Young will be like sitting on the couch all like sullen, just like throwing in like really catty comments every now and then.
And she'll like look at the award. She's like, "Oh, you two won the same award." Huh.
Be like, "Oh, his trophy isn't the only thing that doesn't have integrity."
Why is there a difference in these templates? Huh.
She's like, oh my God, you're right. I didn't even notice that. And Vince Young storms out. No one does.
Oh man.
And then he throws his back out going up the steps.
Like a season and a half, and then they'd need to cancel it. But I'd watch the hell out of that season and a half.
It should be like Sherlock.
Oh,
it should be like
yes.
like 3 episode seasons, but like 90-minute episodes.
That would be so great.
Just like one really long, like, and they could all be like different period pieces. We could get dressed up in different like elaborate costumes or whatever.
By the way, 2005, there were a number of other interesting awards that were awarded at. Guess who won Coach of the Year in 2005?
Lane Kiffin.
Joe Paterno.
Oh.
You want to take that back, huh?
No, actually, no. Don't don't say things like that around Penn State. They'll still run you out of town.
I'm looking at all of these award winners, and not a single one of them was considered a success, or every one of them was either considered a bust in the NFL or is Joe Paterno.
You may remember a few months ago, the potato salad guy on Kickstarter was the big topic of news. People gave him lots and lots and lots of money, and it pissed Dusty off to no end. Now, we teased a little bit during that episode about just how much that upset Dusty. He and I had a conversation earlier in the day about it, and it did not go well. But Arif really wanted to know what Dusty's problem with it was, which led to 2 big revelations, one of which is going to be the second part, which may make you question whether or not you want Dusty as your host of Norse Code.
So what is your issue with this potato salad guy?
It represents it's like all the worst things about the internet all rolled into one.
What? It's not the worst thing. The worst thing about the internet is all the fucking harassment.
Well, okay, that's fair. But the second worst thing, well, it exposes the okay.
It's not second. It's cyberbullying.
It's all right. Look, if you're going to talk about actual tragedies, it's not as bad as abortion either, but I was going to say it was. But seriously, this whole thing, first of all, some Yahoo is like, oh, you know, it would be really funny if I made a Kickstarter where I wanted to make potato salad. I'll just ask for like $10. And, you know, that's fine. It's dumb, but it's fine. It's not what Kickstarter is for. I'm a little butthurt because we tried to get Dovetail founded with a Kickstarter project, and that's actually a really good idea, and we didn't even come close. I guess we should have offered to make potato salad. We would have fucking hit our target 4 times over.
Oh, my God. The money that went to this dude for potato salad would not have gone to literally any other Kickstarter.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that is what sucks about the internet, is that there are all kinds of people who have too much disposable income, who are, you know, probably a lot like us, you know, men of, you know, education and greater means than us, obviously, in their 20s and 30s, who have more money than they need, and they're just like, oh, I use all this, I download all my music because I'm too cheap to pay for it, and I listen to all this stuff, and I critique it because I'm too cheap to pay for it, and I bitch about how Facebook puts ads in my face all the time because I'm too cheap to pay for it, but I'll piss away a bunch of money on some idiot's potato salad that he's probably not even going to make. It doesn't even look that good, and I'm never going to eat it, but potato salad, here's $20. Like,
so to be clear, your issue is not with this kid who magically made $70,000, right? Because I'm totally all about this kid.
No, I mean, look, anyone can win the lottery. I am not, and I honestly don't believe that he set out like, I'm going to scam the internet into giving me $70,000, and all I have to do is pretend to make potato salad. I don't think it's
that. He's going to make the potato salad. Is there any question he's not going to make the potato salad?
He fucking better.
Right?
I'm sure
$70,000 to make a $10 potato salad, I would make a ton of potato salad.
Well, if I was him, I would make a $70,000 potato salad. I would be on the internet buying black truffles.
No, you fucking wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You would want to keep maybe 65,000 of those dollars.
Well, I would never do this in the first
place.
I could still make potato salad with $5,000. I would never do this in the first place because I'm not an idiot. But
Arif,
this idiot is
do you see why we wanted to wait till after the show for this?
This is phenomenal. No, I understand.
But
if the issue is generalized class hatred, I can get behind you. Yeah.
It's not generalized class hatred. It is specific to the internet and maybe the subset of people who use things like Kickstarter. It is this belief that every useful product on the internet, everything we like about the internet should be free so that we have enough money to just throw at whims that make us laugh and clap our hands for 5 minutes.
The kind of people who gave this dude like $200 to have a potato salad or whatever. Actually, you know what? I hope he fucking just trolls people and buys a potato salad. I hope he doesn't make it at all.
I would like half a pint of mustard potato salad, please. And then take a picture of it.
with the price tag of 10.
and then a picture of him just like throwing cash around, just like, yay!
He's rolling around in cash like Huel in Breaking Bad.
A kiddie pool of coins.
He's got that next to.
Someone told him he needs to keep some of this around for taxes.
I hope not. I hope he ends up in debtor's prison because he didn't actually make potato salad.
He's going to be rolling around
on Kickstarter that you have to do the thing that people agree to.
Exactly. Rolling around in cash like Huel from Breaking Bad right next to his container of Hugo's potato salad.
Exactly. Or if he could take a picture of the potato salad on top of like stacks of money, that would be fine. It's all very silly. It's fine. I don't think Kickstarter should change its terms of service or anything. I don't think it should be illegal to do what this guy did. I just think it's stupid, and this kind of behavior should not be encouraged. There are enough real fucking problems in the world and enough people trying to make useful things that maybe we can spend some of our hard-earned fucking software development dollars or whatever idiot thing we do to become wealthy in our early 20s and frivolously fucking make other people's potato salad.
It's not even the action of people wasting $200 on this. It's the symbolism of the action, because like people were not going to spend that money anyway, right? So it's like it's what that action represents that you hate so much, right? So, but these are the same people that go to like novelty stores and buy like Shakespeare insult gum, right? Like it's like the same thing. I guess they get something, but they don't really get anything. It's Shakespeare insult. It's shitty tasting gum, and they're shitty insults, and they're Shakespeare insults on a piece of gum.
Okay, but look at the Kickstarter website just itself. And I know there are people that hang out on Kickstarter with, lots of money looking for projects to support. That's just what they do. They throw money at Kickstarter projects. They have, whatever budget, and that's fine. Your example, like there are so many worthwhile projects on Kickstarter, and I'm sure
they didn't like go. They're like, oh, I wonder what's on Kickstarter.com. They got shared the thing. They go to the thing.
Yeah, and so what we ended up with was a situation where the novelty store was full of opportunities to donate to Planned Parenthood or your local homeless shelter or a political candidate or a food bank or something, and instead you got the gum that turns your mouth blue.
But that assumes that they walked into the novelty store. Someone walked out of the novelty store with this gum and was like, "Hey, what'd be funny? Have some gum." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay," without thinking, hey, that novelty store like down the block has a way for me to support Planned Parenthood, which would be really great. No, they're just like, yeah, gum's pretty cool, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I mean, maybe I'm too old to appreciate nonsense, novelty like that. But like,
I'll be sure not to wear my Spokanistan shirt anywhere near you then.
ugh.
Or my Linsanity shirt.
Yeah, please don't. That's a bit much.
It's a great shirt.
Is it really?
It says Linsanity on it, so that's a lot of points for it.
Are you sure about that?
And I specifically made sure it had no Knicks paraphernalia on it because I knew he wasn't going to stay with the Knicks for long because he's like an average player, right? And so it has like sort of Knicks-ish colors, but not really. It just looks like a basketball color. So it's great. If it had Knicks gear on it, that would be pretty bad. But it doesn't. It's just about Jeremy Lin. Fantastic shirt.
That's impressive.
That's money that would have gone to Potato Salad Kickstarter.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, I guess that's not the direct opportunity, guys, but it's not like that's not money that would have gone to feed the homeless. Is my point.
Yeah, and I know I'm making kind of a stretchy argument. I guess the thing that I take issue with the most is just the sense of sheer frivolity that the internet kind of creates.
Yeah. Okay.
And
right. It's the fact that the symbol of what this action represents got promoted, right? That it's in your face.
Yeah, well, and it does particularly grind my gears as somebody who has made things for people that they enjoy, or done things for people that they enjoy, and getting them to give me any fucking money at all is like pulling teeth. But it makes me feel like the good things that I have done, the art that I've created, the websites I've done, the podcasts, all that stuff, that it is somehow worse than frivolous. It is not even worth fucking potato salad money. And I don't like that feeling. And I know it's not a fair way to feel about it because they're not even close to the same thing. I mean, Norse Code is very unlikely to go viral just for the subject content. But I used to believe that about potato salad too, and look how wrong I was.
But if you had asked Arif, let's say someone puts up a Kickstarter for potato salad, or produces a really engaging podcast about a very specific subject, which do you think would receive more donations? And I would say the podcast. But if you had asked which one is most likely to go viral and receive an insane amount of support, definitely the
potato salad, and it's not even close.
Now, here's where we start to become like the Serial podcast. We start to question Dusty's character and whether or not we believe that he's the right person for this particular role. He's about to admit something that a handful of us know, and we've all stopped trying to convince him otherwise. He will go until his dying breath absolutely despising this one thing. And I try to warn Arif, but Arif just wants to keep poking at it until it becomes a thing.
Potato salad thing is an example of the fucking cat and Star Wars obsessed idiocy part of the internet.
Hey, what the fuck is wrong with Star Wars?
Lots.
No, you do not. Arif, trust me on this. You've gone down one rabbit hole. You don't want to go down another.
Hold on.
You don't have to stay and listen.
We don't have to go down this rabbit hole.
We can if you want.
I just want to know if if your issues with Star Wars go away if I call it a space fantasy instead of science fiction.
No, it's still, the plot still doesn't make any sense. It's still.
Does it have?
No.
You're right. I'm done. Okay, fine.
I've known Dusty a lot of years, and this is not something that is going to go well for you.
James,
I'm going to bring this up
James
later.
can tell you, I fucking hate Star Wars.
Jeez. I guess I'm not going to touch that for now.
Okay, I will say that I will definitely see the new movie or movies, probably like right when they come out, so I can
That's the worst thing you could do if you hate Star Wars.
But how else will I be able to yell intelligently about how much they suck?
I guess that's a good point. That's why I initially got into Harry Potter, and then I realized I liked it.
Well,
yeah.
Luckily that hasn't happened with Star Wars, because with every single movie, except for the second one, they've gotten progressively worse. And they were never that good to begin with.
As in episode 5?
Yeah, right? That's what he's talking about.
Okay, no, that's fair. I don't consider like the episodes 1 through 3 part of Star Wars.
That's cheating. Like the Mission Impossible series is amazing if you only
gone
take
down
the
this
first one.
Like, the Transformers series is amazing if you only take the first one.
Your example is also one I'm totally fine with. That's like, you didn't like, what the logical conclusion of this is, Reef? People will like specific things. Oh, no.
Well, I would like to paint you with the broadest possible Star Wars brush. So those are
fantastic.
Some of the...
Your better argument is that I have read the Expanded Universe novels, and that I should be shamed for.
You should. You are correct.
But okay, anyway, so regardless of, I guess, cats and Star Wars, hey, I will say this. The dude handled that so well. He was like, I guess my next goal is $300. I'll make it really fancy. And then after he got $300, he was like, okay, should we just make hats? I think I want to make hats. Like, that was like totally, and he was like, let's make hats for everybody. And then he was like, okay, so this is a lot of money, and I totally didn't expect this.
I no longer understand. I no longer know what's reasonable here, I think is what he said.
Yeah, right. He's like, so I'm going to rent a tent and make potato salad for anybody who can come? I think he handled this totally really well. So I'm just going to give him credit for that.
No, I support the person that made the Kickstarter. He seems like a pretty cool dude. He's got his head on straight, and yeah, no, his responses to this whole nonsense have been. I'm gonna stop just short of saying admirable, because I don't want to admire anyone involved in this fiasco. It is the donors with whom I have a bone to pick.
So, but like the first donors, you don't have a problem with. Like somebody who's like, yeah, I'll throw you like $250 or whatever, right? You don't have.
Are you going to make me pick a dollar amount? Are you going to make me tell you how many people are allowed to die in a war?
I'm not going to make. I'm just saying, the person who was like, there's $0 donated to this poor man's potato salad mission. I'm going to give him $250, right? But reasonably, you have an issue with somebody who was like, this dude has raised $35,000. That's hilarious. Here's another 200, right? Like that's more of a problem, right?
That's idiocy. That is so stupid.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get. Okay, I'm cool.
I think actually, I feel like John Kerry said it best when he was testifying before Congress, when he said, "How do you ask a man to be the last man to stupidly give money to somebody making potato salad?"
All right. With that, I gotta go. You guys have fun.
All right, see you, James. Thanks for being on the show.
James.
Dusty attempts to save face by making fun of John Kerry, which isn't all that bad of an idea now that I'm thinking about it. When we're waiting for Arif to get online and start the podcast, Dusty and I's minds can wander. This particular day, Dusty had an article up from Wired.com, and things got a little out of control. There's a lot of language in this one, so you're better off not listening to it. Unless you really want to know about Europe's insane history of putting animals on trial. I see we're waiting for Arif to get dressed. I assume he's getting himself all gussied up for show number 50.
I like to imagine that he just does the show naked.
That silence was brought to you by Dusty O'Connell.
If you thought that was great, just wait till the next awkward silence.
Which is guaranteed to happen soon.
Guaranteed to be even silenter.
I don't even know where to start with that.
Reading this Wired article about, and this is a quote from the title, Europe's insane history of putting animals on trial and then executing them.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? Something crazy just crawled into my ear.
Europe's insane history of putting animals on trial and executing them.
Okay, so we made it past the headline. Get into the meat and potatoes of it.
According to E.P. Evans, in his sprawling history, The Criminal Prosecution and Capital Punishment of Animals, written in 1906.
How is that like a title of anything?
The frequency with which pigs were brought to trial and adjudged to death was owing, in a great measure,
to the freedom with which they were permitted to run about the streets and to their immense number. Evans catalogs incident after incident in which pigs chewed off ears and noses and even killed children, one swine going so far as to eat a child although it was Friday.
Really?
A serious violation of church decree that was urged by the prosecuting attorney and accepted by the court as a serious aggravation of the porker's offense. Another more mild-mannered pig was hanged in France in 1394 for having sacrilegiously eaten a consecrated wafer.
So basically, like when Homer Simpson destroyed the sacred parchment.
Some 200 cases of animal executions.
I'm sorry. Again, something crazy crawled into my ear.
200 cases of
you
animal
say?
executions. Bulls, horses, eels, dogs, sheep, and perhaps most curiously, dolphins.
Is there any explanation on the dolphin case?
I'm going to guess rape. That's
It's not often somebody gets to say, I'm going to guess rape, and then starts laughing.
There was a great range of punishments for such critters, which weren't always sentenced to death. Rats, for instance, were often sent a friendly letter of advice in order to induce them to quit any house in which their presence is deemed undesirable.
If it doesn't work with bad house guests, it's not going to work with mice.
It's true. It didn't work on Spoon. Why would it work on an actual pig?
Exactly.
And in one case, Evans adds, a sow and a she-ass were condemned to be hanged.
Why is this
on appeal,
why
and
is it
after
that
a
I've
new
gone-
trial, they were sentenced to simply be knocked on the head.
Why is it that I've gone 31 years, Dusty?
Without ever hearing
31
the phrase
years
she-ass.
without hearing the word she-ass. How is that possible? I feel like my life is cheated in some way.
Well, you've never studied the long and insane history of animal execution, apparently.
I'm Googling this. Is she... I'm going to use the...
There's a hyphen
I'm gonna
between
use a
she and
hyphen.
ass.
Yes, that was the idea. Because I have a feeling if I just typed in she ass, I'd get a whole other set of search terms.
You still might.
Oh, look, the topical Bible. She ass Bible hub. Preferably from the Ethan and Sons of Payson, a female donkey. Yes. Well,
Creatures that were themselves victims, especially of bestiality, would be horrifically executed along with their offending human. In one case, a mule condemned to be burned alive together with a man guilty of buggery was inclined to kick, so the executioner cut off its feet before setting it on fire. This is the best article ever in Wired.
I miss. You've seen Clerks 2, right?
Yes.
I miss my donkey. Arif is missing all of this. Arif is missing this great conversation that's somehow going to be referenced in some capacity during the show, in that only you and I will think it's funny.
I'll forget that he hasn't heard.
Yes, about the Europe's crazy rules and history of sentencing animals to death.
For example, a case in 1750 where the victim, a donkey, was acquitted on the ground that she was a victim of violence, and while a convent's prior had signed a certificate noting that he'd known her for 4 years and that she had always shown herself to be virtuous and well-behaved, both at home and abroad.
Wow.
A sow and a she-ass. That's the name of my Mumford & Sons cover band.
That's a better usage than what I was going to say. Oh, I wonder if Arif knows anything about Europe's long and crazy history about putting animals on trial and executing them.
I mean, I took AP Euro, so I'm vaguely aware of him, but I don't know any specifics. Although the Harry Potter universe does kind of reference this a little bit when they talk about the trials of animals throughout history.
It's true. There were apparently some pretty big ecclesiastical trials of insects and orchards. Yes.
Well, I suppose they were committing crimes.
Against God, you say? To shreds, you say?
Though it never went to trial, the first complaint against weevils in France was made by grape growers in 1545, resulting in a proclamation for public prayers to account for sins and thus will the weevils away. And indeed, they fled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the power of God for you.
Only for about 30 years.
That's a pretty good return on investment, though.
Well, then they had to take the weevils to trial. And a lawyer was actually named the Weevils' public defender.
So that either has to be the easiest job or the hardest job.
I'm going to go with hardest.
The terms that we were enjoying included she-ass, which I had never heard in real life before, but she-ass is apparently a term.
Oh, I've heard it.
Of course you have. Why have you heard it?
Don't you know? I'm a great enthusiast of agricultural literature.
I feel like I learned something today. Two things. One, the term she-ass. And two, yeah.
They used to also try and execute the victims of bestiality. Like, if you got caught buggering a horse, they would execute both you and the horse.
Well, the horse is sullied in taint.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you and the horse you rode in on, yeah.
Oh, man.
And that is going to be it for this year's clip show. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate that. Donations, spreading the word. Thank you so much over the past year. You can get a hold of us through the Twitter account at Norse Code DN. I am at Big Mono. Arif is Arif Hassan NFL. Dusty is Norse Code Dusty. You can get to the website at norsecodepodcast.com. Most, if not all, of our episodes are also posted at the Daily Norseman. Please check them out as well. And you can also check out Vikings Territory as well. So, for Dusty and Arif, my name is James. Thank you so much for listening over the past year. Go Vikings, and our formula is this. Christian Ponder still sucks. Have a great new year.
Norse Code is the official podcast of the Daily Norseman SB Nation blog and is produced with cooperation from Pompous Jerk Productions. Pompous Jerk Productions. Attitude with attitude. The opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of their contributors and do not reflect official positions of the Minnesota Vikings, SB Nation, the Daily Norseman staff, or PJP. No information in this podcast should be construed as gambling advice. Please obey all local gaming laws.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.